Africa is bleeding, guys. Africa is bleeding. Specifically, Congo is bleeding. They will continue to reap and reap and reap all the minerals and all the resources that we continue to grow and dig up in our country without sowing a thing. And we won't even realize. Happy month of May, diaspora. I am back, I am ready, and the time is now. After several months of preparations and trying to figure out what I want to talk about with you guys, how I want to go about things, what I want my scheme, my color scheme, all these brand stuff to be, we are finally here. And I'm truly honored, I'm truly blessed to be, sitting here today, all by the grace of God, to be talking to you guys and bringing you guys some important topics. I am genuinely starting to think, right, that we as an African diaspora are truly allergic to progress or unity. It's actually very, very concerning. I'm starting to think that we tend to find comfort in our division and embrace division more than we actually embrace unity as a whole. We scream one Africa, yet we do the complete opposite. Why is that? Truly, why is that? Africa is bleeding, guys. Africa is bleeding. Specifically, Congo is bleeding. And literally bleating. And it seems as if there's no way out or no one really cares. Guys, when one of us bleeds, we all bleed. We all bleed. So DR Congo, Russia, China, the US, we're going to be diving all into this, all this coming up on today's show. With no bias, no lies, just real vim, real Kasa. Hey viewers, if you're looking for some amazing West African cuisines here in Jersey, visit Legit African Touch at 52 Ferry Street, South River, New Jersey. Only continental dishes, Mama's Secret. Preferably Ghanaian or Nigerian dishes, all in Legit African Touch. Visit Legit African Touch now. So what is going on? What is truly going on abroad right now in the African continent? Since the beginning of this year, of 2024, we have witnessed a rise in the death toll in the Democratic Republic of Congo, right? So, which has actually really caused great havoc in Africa, like I said previously, and over 7 million people have been displaced in DR Congo, and many, many people with no access to pure, clean water at all. This is what we are facing right now within the African continent. This is what we're facing. And it doesn't seem like the diaspora cares. It doesn't seem like our generation truly cares. But I don't want to downplay because I have seen posts, I have seen more awareness to it, different FundMes, all those FundMe stuff and whatnot. I've seen it. And honestly, I think it's all a good step in the right direction, right? However, it's still more than just posting and all these different things. I feel like we actually need to have a strategy of how we can actually help these people abroad, right? We're all worried about rap beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. I actually don't care. I truly don't care, right? But anyways, let's really dive into, what's really going on in Congo. So currently in the camp named Bolongo Camp in Goma, DR Congo, there are about 15 to 20 camps, correct? So people are literally fleeing because of the insanity that has actually occurred due to the Western powers, the Western governments, the UK, the USA, France, and Israel. Right now, there is lack of media attention on CNN, on Fox, on NBC. There's no media attention whatsoever. And do you guys ever sit down to think, why is that? Why is there no media attention on these specific things? Because they are truly the ones funding it. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. France, the US, the UK, they all have a hand in this. Do you know how much money? You know how much money is in war? There's so much money in war. There's so much money. At least $32.5 million a year hypothetically speaking. I'm saying this off the top of my head, right? But there's all you guys should know is that there's a lot of money. There's truly a lot of money, and these Western governments are funding such terrorist and militia groups within the country. They don't care. They absolutely don't care. And the US right now are currently blaming the Rwandan armed groups for the current bomb attacks on the camps. And yet they're the ones actually funding the acts, right? Do you realize that there's a blame game here? There's truly a blame game where now the US is blaming the Rwandan armed groups, and also the Rwandan armed groups are blaming, the Congolese people for also having, basically a part in their invasion as well, right? The Rwandan genocide has actually took place in 1994 and created so much havoc, right? We all know about the Rwandan and also the Congolese genocide in 1994 as well. It was horrible. We know this, right? However, Rwanda was actually able to recover in some type of way, right? When Congo was not. I just started learning more into the fact that, look, the Congolese genocide never stopped. It never stopped. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that, it just started now. No, it actually has been continuous. And Rwanda has actually been able to recover, and they've actually been able to create more of an alliance, or at least some type of deal. Their governments have been able to create some type of deal with the US. Obviously, with their resources that they have and stuff like that, they've been able to adjust and make sort of bond and relationship there. But with that relationship, it's not genuine. We have to understand that as Africans, that this relationship that we have with Western governments and Western powers are not genuine relationships. They will continue to reap and reap and reap all the minerals and all the resources that we continue to grow and dig up in our country without sowing a thing, and we won't even realize. When are we going to wake up? When are we simply going to wake up as an African people and as a diaspora and realize what is going on? Why is it that people can come outside into the continent and make millions, billions of dollars? Why? And our own people still in poverty? I'm going to leave that question with you guys. But anyways, it's, I just want you guys to know, I want to ask you guys, when are we going to really realize that they continue to put us against each other? They continue to put us against each other, and that's the blame game here. Rwanda has been acting as if they have been okay for the past 2 decades in favor of European powers and powers of the Middle East, right? Look, I just want to make this clear. I do not want to diminish the magnitude of anyone suffering, of any genocide. Every single person is or has their own experiences within this genocide, right? But it's clear as day that Rwanda has been able to recover and Congo continuously is still suffering. That's why we need more media attention on this, right? Because they're the ones that are continuously getting bombed day after day. So every single person, right, has their own experience. So I'm not trying to downplay or lower, the magnitude or significance of anyone's, crime, but this is just what it is right now. So what are we really going to do? What are we going to do as a diaspora, to actually, make some media headlines here and let people continue to know, about the genocide taking place? We continue to talk about Israel and Palestine. You see how they're able to create so much media attention, right? Their diaspora as well are able to create so much media attention everywhere you go, every feed post or advertisement you see. Free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine. Correct? I need to see more free Congo. I need to see more free Africa. Free Africa. I need to see more of that. Because Africa is bleeding, ladies and gentlemen. Africa is bleeding. So, when's the Independence Day of DR Congo? June 30th. June 30th, on the 30th of June, I do not want to see anyone in any clubs. I don't want to see anyone in any clubs. On the 30th of June, I need to see everyone bringing more media attention to this genocide. I'm telling you, we're the generation of new technology. We are the generation of new world technology. Why can't we use these platforms? It's not everyday legwork. It's not everyday clubs, popping bottles. It's not every day we're gonna be, just doing rubbish. We need to actually focus on what's important here. There are so many bright minds in the diaspora. There are so many other voices just like myself that should be using their platform as well to bring attention towards these causes, right? So on the 30th of June, I want to see posting more of, the catastrophes. I want to see more of hashtag pray for Congo, hashtag free Congo. I want to see more of that. That's where we stand right now. That's where we need to be. So honestly, DR Congo right now, let's just be so transparent here. DR Congo is supposed to be the richest country on earth in mineral wealth. Yet the wealth is nowhere to be found within our own people, right? So instead, we're bringing each other down. So my message today is really clearly, we need more media attention. I want you guys to know Africa is currently bleeding. Over 70+ million people being displaced with no clean water, 70+ million people starving. This is nearly like the same population in New York City, and it's nearly the same population as London. 48 women raped per hour, and 40,000 children are forced into child labor without mining tools. At that, all in the name of coltan, cobalt, and copper, right? Because these are the minerals that DR Congo carries. This is not exactly only physical violence, but this is structural violence. Again, does the Democratic Republic of Congo have a functioning government at all? Because, it really does feel like there isn't. It's non-existent. Because the government is not truly working. It creates room for gangsters who disguise themselves as militia groups within the country. How many administrations have succeeded in actually running the country and having its presence felt in every village in Congo? Why? We need to ask ourselves this, right? But the reason, let me go into the reason why everything is really happening right now in Congo and why people are actually being displaced. So the reason why citizens of DR Congo are currently being displaced and are living in poverty is because of the high demand for the use of minerals, right? So that are being inhabited within DR Congo. So these minerals are, like I said previously, are coltan, cobalt, and copper, which are needed in order to create and build new digital technology, devices for the Western world. So the governments of the DR Congo and Rwanda, have been having this exchange rhetoric, accusing each other of supporting armed groups, putting us against each other, This is only due to greed. It's only due to greed of Western governments and, the need to make technology, devices, and to gain more wealth and power within the Western forces. This is basically why this war is happening. This is why this genocide is happening, right? So like I said, from here, where do we go from here? We need more media attention. On the 30th of June, no one, and I mean no one within the African diaspora, and I'm going to say this again and make it clear, the Congolese diaspora or the African diaspora should be literally in any clubs. I don't want to see you guys in any clubs. Let's be so for real. I know the diaspora loves enjoyment, but you know, I don't want to see any one of you guys in these environments in hopes of promoting the culture or bringing Africa to the States. You know, like, you're not contributing anything useful to the initiative. Let's be so transparent here. You're not. Instead, we should be taking major initiative on the media, right? The posting is not enough. I need to see more posting. We need to see more of that within our people. We need to really support each other, right? So that's basically my word for today. You know, this is my stance for today. That's my stance for today. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is all for today on the Real Kasa Show. Africa is currently bleeding. I want you to think about this and what you're going to do in hopes of, you know, taking initiative and making change within the continent of Africa. Thank you very much. That is all for today on the Real Kasa Show. Stay tuned for my next upcoming episode on the Chinese crisis in Africa, in Zambia specifically. A lot has been going on with the Chinese in Africa taking over, stealing our minerals, stealing our resources, and using it in their benefit. When are we going to wake up as an African people? This coming up on my next episode on The Real Kasa Show. Stay tuned. What up, viewers of The Real Kasa Show? Make sure to follow The Real Kasa Show on X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok as well. Real Kasa Show, Mondays at 9 p.m., always.